The study of endocrine system in the human body. It's a study of endocrine system in the human body. This is a system of glands which secretes hormones. This endocrine system is of glands secretes with hormones. Hormones are chemicals that affect the actions of different organ systems in the body. These hormones are chemicals that affect the actions of different organ systems in the body. Examples include thyroid hormone, growth hormone, and insulin. The endocrine system involves a number of feedback mechanisms. This endocrine system involves a number of feedback mechanisms so that often one hormone, such as thyroid stimulating hormone, will control the action or release of another secondary hormone, such as thyroid hormone. If there is too much of the secondary hormone, it may provide negative feedback to the primary hormone, maintaining homeostasis. Okay, if um, let us discuss about this. Okay, the study of endocrine system in the human body is known as endocrinology. This is a system of glands that secretes hormones. Hormones are nothing but chemicals which affect the actions of different organs of our body, organ systems in the body. Okay, examples include thyroid hormone, growth hormone, and insulin. Okay, endocrine system involves a number of feedback mechanisms. Endocrine system involves a number of feedback mechanisms so that one often involve one of so that often one hormone, such as thyroid stimulating hormone, will control the action or release of another secondary hormone, such as thyroid hormone. Okay, there is too much of the secondary hormone. If secondary hormone is nothing but thyroid hormone is too much in our body, it may provide negative feedback to the primary hormone. So it maintaining homeostasis. Okay, mm, let us know about the glands that are present in our body. Okay, hypothalamus gland, which is present in the brain. It contains TRH, CRH, growth hormone, regulating hormone, dopamine, somatostatin, vasopressin in hypothalamus. They are present. Pineal gland produces melatonin. Okay, contains melatonin. Mm, Whereas pituitary gland contains growth hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, adrenocorticotropic hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, MSH, luteinizing hormone, prolactin, oxytocin, vasopressin, like that. Okay. This is the thyroid and parathyroid glands that contains 3, 3, 4 calcitonin, parathyroid hormone. Okay. Thymus contains thymoprotein or thymopoietin. Okay. Where next stomach contains gastrin, ghrelin, histamine, somatostatin, neuropeptide, bile. Liver contains IGF, DHPO. This nothing. Right? Okay. Next, pancreas contains insulin, glucagon, somatostatin. Okay. Adrenal glands contain androgens, glucocorticoids, adrenaline, noradrenaline. Okay. Whereas kidneys contains calcitriol, renin, erythropoietin. Ovary placenta contains estrogens and progesterones in female, and uterus contains prolactin and relaxin. Okay, whereas testes in males contains androgens, estradiol, and inhibin. These are the overview of the endocrinology. Okay, hormones. Hormones are conventionally defined as organic substance produced in small amounts by specific tissues, nothing but endocrine glands, secreted into bloodstream to control the metabolic and biological activities in the target cells. Okay, hormones are conventionally defined as the organic substance produced in small amounts. Okay, which are produced in very small amounts by specific tissues, nothing but endocrine glands that secreted into those hormones secreted into bloodstream for what purpose? Means to control the metabolic and biological activities in the target cell. Okay, these may be regarded as chemical messengers involved in the transmission of information from one tissue to another and from cell to cell. Okay, the functions of the body are regulated or communicated by two major control systems in our, okay, in the human body. Okay, these are nervous system and endocrine system. Okay, let us discuss about nervous system as this now small point. Okay, the nervous system controls body activities through endochemical impulses conducted along axons and neurons. Okay, at synapses, nerve impulse triggers the release of mediator molecules called neurotransmitters. Nervous system controls body activities through which means through endochemical impulse, okay, which occurs internally, okay, conducted along axons of neurons. At synapses, nerve impulse trigger the release of mediator molecules. At synapses now, in its synapses, nerve impulse triggers the release of mediator molecules called neurotransmitters. Okay. Mm, Endocrine system. The endocrine system controls body activities through a wide range of chemical messengers known as hormones. The study that which deals with the endocrine glands and their secretion is known as endocrinology. Okay, next coming to the point. Thomas Edison is known as the father of endocrinology. Okay, Thomas Edison is known as father of endocrinology. Most glands of the body deliver their secretions by means of ducts. These are called exocrine glands. Mostly glands that are present in the body deliver their secretions by means of ducts. Ducts. Correct? They secrete the glands. Okay, these are called exocrine glands. Example: sweat glands, sebaceous glands, mucus, digestive glands, etc. Okay, there are few other glands that produce chemical substances. Other than these, few other glands that which produce chemical substances that directly secretes into the bloodstream for the transmission to various target tissues. These are called ductules or endocrine glands, which takes place inside, no? So that's why we call it as endocrine gland. The secretion of endocrine glands are called as hormones. Okay. Next, coming to the point, most glands of the body deliver their secretions by means of ducts. These are called endocrine glands, as earlier we discussed. Okay. Mm. Next, let us know about the history, how the endocrine system originated, how the hormones are called as chemical messengers. Okay, who invented these hormones and everything. Okay, William M. Bayliss and Ernest H. Starling first used the term hormone in 1904. Okay, they showed that a chemical substance is nothing but secretion from the intestine could stimulate the action of pancreatic secretion. Okay, what they said means what they have shown means that a chemical substance from the intestine could stimulate the action of pancreatic secretion. Okay, these chemical substances were then called as chemical messengers. Okay, Ben Diamond gave this definition in 1937. Okay, the chemical substances which are produced in only one part of the body by specific endocrine tissue and secreted into the bloodstream, then transferred to another part where they influence a specific biological function is called as hormone. Finally, they both gave the definition for hormone in this way. Okay, means chemical substances which are produced in only one part of the body. The chemical substance means the secretion which are produced with only one part of the body by specific endocrine tissue. Okay, specific endocrine tissue. That means glands, specific endocrine glands, and secreted into bloodstream, then transferred to another part where they influence a specific biological function is called as hormone. The tissue or organs where they are produced are called as effectors. ఈ టిష్యూస్ కానీ ఆర్గాన్స్ అని ఎక్కడైతే ప్రొడ్యూస్ అవుతాయో వాటిని ఎఫెక్టర్స్ అంటారు. Those where these exert their influence are called targets. Okay, the origin of endocrine hormones and form either endocrine glands or some body organ tissues. Okay, next coming to the point, Endocrine glands. Endocrine glands contains mostly pituitary glands, thyroid glands, adrenal glands, and parathyroid glands. Okay, let us know about the hormones producing organs or tissues. Okay, hormones that produce organs or tissues means hypothalamus, pancreas, gonads like gonads such as testes and ovaries, placenta, and gastrointestinal tract, mostly in stomach and small intestine. Okay, let us know about the classification of hormones. Are you clear? Classification of hormones. Hormones were classified on their characteristics and groups. Okay, hormones were classified further on their classification and groups. Okay, based on the chemical nature and based on the mechanism of action. Let us discuss about based on the chemical nature of hormones. Okay, according to life, the hormones can be classified into three groups based on their chemical nature. Okay, Mm, there are steroid hormones and peptide hormones or protein hormones. Okay, and amino acid derivatives. Okay, first let us discuss about steroid hormones. Steroid hormones, these are steroid in nature. Okay, they are derived from cholesterol, whole and esterol, which is derived from the animal um, sterols. Okay, each hormone is unique due to the presence of different functional groups. ప్రతి హార్మోన్ different గా ఉంటుంది for what purpose means due to the presence of different functional groups attached at various sites on the four ring set core of its structure. Okay, these small differences allow for a large diversity of functions. These small differences allows for a large diversity of functions, example in glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids, and sex hormones. Okay, next coming to the point, peptide hormones are also known as protein hormones. Peptide hormones or protein hormones are amino acid polymers. Okay, all proteins are amino acids we say, but all amino acids are not proteins. Okay, the smaller peptide hormones consists of chains of 3 to 4 amino acids or more. Okay, smaller peptide hormone consists of chains 3 to 4 amino acids or more. Example, peptide hormones contains oxytocin. The oxytocin contains 9 amino acids. Okay, antidiuretic hormone contains 9 amino acids. Thyroid releasing hormone contains 2 amino acids. Okay, protein hormones, insulin, parathyroid hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, all these comes under protein hormone. Okay, next amino acid derivatives. Amino hormones are synthesized by decarboxylating, means carboxylation process means oxygenation takes place here. Okay, amino hormones are synthesized by decarboxylation. Whenever the decarboxylation takes place, then hormones are synthesized and modifying certain amino acids, modified into certain amino acids. The hormones have amino group because they are called as amino hormones. Okay, catecholamine contains epinephrine, norepinephrine, whereas thyroid hormone contains triiodotyrosine and tetraiodothyroxine. These are the examples of amino acid derivatives. Okay, next let us discuss about based on the mechanism of action. Okay, hormones are classified into two groups based on the location of the receptors to which they bind and the signals used to mediate their action. Hormones are further classified into two groups based on the location of the receptors to which they bind and the signals used to mediate their action. Receptors are specific binding proteins. Okay, receptors are specific binding proteins which recognize hormones with high specificity and form hormone receptor complex to mediate their biological functions. Okay, for what purpose means to mediate their biological function. This is the receptor protein. Okay, again I will say this here. Receptors are specific binding proteins which recognizes the hormones. Okay, which recognizes the hormones with high specificity and form hormone receptor complex. So this forms hormone receptor complex. Okay, and finally it is used to mediate the biological function. Intracellular receptors present in either cytosol or nucleus. Okay, intracellular receptors are present either in cytosol or nucleus. Okay, next is cell membrane receptors or plasma membrane. This is the plasma membrane, this is the nucleus part, and this is the cytosol. Okay, group 1 hormones. These hormones bind to intracellular receptors. These hormones bind to intracellular receptors to form, to form hormone receptor complex, through which their biochemical functions are mediated. Okay, these biochemical functions were mediated. Group 1 hormones are lipophilic in nature and are easily differences through membrane and binds with intracellular receptor. Okay, group 1 hormones have transport proteins. Group 1 hormones have transport proteins for their transport in the circulation due to their lipophilic nature. Okay, group 1 hormones have longer half-life, hours to days, because group 1 hormones act as the level of genes to activate transcription and translation of corresponding proteins. This is the transcription, and this here we takes place translation, okay, of corresponding proteins. Examples we take: glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids, estrogens, androgens, triiodotyrosine, and tetraiodotyrosine. Okay, this is the overview of the group 1 hormones. Okay, based on the mechanism of action in group 1 hormones. Next, coming to the point, okay,